Hey everyone, my name is Decrypt DeLorean, and welcome to another edition of Art X Whale. Today we have a very, very special guest. He is a collage artist, a digital illustrator, an NFT enthusiast, and one of the most amazing human beings that you'll ever have the pleasure of meeting. His name is George Boya. Welcome, George, to the show.
Hello, family. So good to be back. Hello, DC. Thank you so much for your kind words.
Oh, absolutely. How are you doing, George? It's been a long time since we've had a chance to connect again.
Yeah. It was a really long time, but I never miss what is doing, all the incredible stuff, and it's like I have always been here for me. As you said, I'm a collage artist. I started 16 years ago doing traditional collage art, with paper and scissors and glues and all that stuff. My idea back then was to make an artwork that will look like a stained glass window, like we see in the churches and stuff. But instead of using pieces of glass, I decided to use pieces of paper. And this is how I started making my collage artworks. Um, Later on, I shifted in a more, again, traditional collage, but with a more narrative idea behind. And a little bit before started getting involved with crypto space, have decided to start making my artworks digital. It was something that gave me more freedom to work, doing things that couldn't be done with the traditional collage, like giving motion or shadows or bending and warping things that it's impossible to do with a paper. And I started presenting my artworks first, minting them at Maker's Place, then Super Rare, and Async Art. And of course, all the collaborations we did with the Well family, the Well community, which were many, many,
That is
and many events also.
that is so true. That is so true. To kind of explore that stuff, I we've prepared a video of your work, and I want to play that for everyone. I'm actually going to put that up on the screen.
Oh,
So here we go.
oh man, that was a really awesome video.
Thank you. That's our friend Cartoon Advisory. He's putting
Oh
together
yeah, I
these
know him. I know him.
fire videos for us. Fantastic work. And George, every time, I mean, your art really is very easy to put together in one of those because it's so cool.
Thank you so much.
And it's funny because I had done one for your stuff back. Geez, it feels like forever ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the cool thing, your stuff really goes great with music, and I know that some of the community had just said that too. It's
Yeah, because it has this, the frame-to-frame animation has this rhythm that I always like doing in my animations. There are simple animations, but I like the rhythm, like a heartbeat or like breathing, breathing. And I think it looks cool with the notes. This kind of music was perfect for the artworks. I
yeah,
thought.
yeah, absolutely, it does. Yeah, you hit it on the head. It's like a heartbeat
Mhm,
type of rhythm, and
mhm.
you count the rhythm, and then putting it together in that type of like a quick animation type thing. It just flows really nicely. So uh,
Indeed, indeed.
I love it. I love it. So we talked a little bit about your intro. You've been doing collage art for a really long time,
Mhm.
um, and people love it. Honestly, you're definitely one of the most beloved artists that we've had on Whale throughout the years. What why collage? What if you had to summarize it in like a few words? Why'd you jump into collage out of everything?
That's a very good question, and I would love to answer. So I started with collage because it is a medium that you do not create something from nothing, like it is, painting. You have an empty canvas and you start creating and seeing from nothing to become a portrait or an art. Um Collage is like trying to change something that already exists. So you take photos that look one way, and you can enlarge them. You can change the colors. You can make a different scene. It's a it's a very unique medium if you understand how it can be used. It's like uh, giving a new look to something that already exists. This is what I like with collage. That's why I stayed with collage, even though I was painting a bit and doing other stuff like all artists experimenting. I still want to do collages for that, for the reason that I can give my own view to something that already exists. I hope I covered the
Yeah,
question.
yeah, you're so I love that. So you're taking something that already exists and you're
Mhm.
you're creating something out of it in something that you kind of an image that you see in your mind.
Yes, yes, exactly. Like I was used to say that I work like a director a bit. Everything in my mind is. I'm putting them, directing them, and what I have to do later is, to make the movie, to take this, from, my mind and try to organize it in reality.
Man,
Yeah.
that is awesome. And for those of you who haven't been with us a long time, George has done some amazing creation videos. So we used to do like a creator series, and
Mm.
George came on and showed us his process, and that was absolutely fantastic. We might have to do that again, George.
Yeah, well, yeah, and not only with me, but with other artists also, because I remember that those were really interesting, really interesting series back then. It was Turek, and it was Fegosius also, and who there were a lot of artists back then, and Metageist.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
van with a beautiful whale.
Oh yeah, Van's piece. That's right.
Yeah, you remember with a sonar that was beeping.
Yeah, I actually have that piece.
I'm sure you did.
And I have the cosmic well that you did.
Oh yeah,
Man,
yeah,
that is one of my favorites. I'm gonna pull that on screen in a few
yeah.
minutes.
Because it is one of my favorite. It was the first one with a whale. I mean.
So while I pull that cosmic whale up for everybody, what have you been up to lately? Because like I said, we haven't really talked a lot. We have and we haven't. You know how the crypto world works, but
Yeah.
yeah, what are you up to these days?
For the past 2 months, I was creating a blueprint project for async titled Mecana, which is, I don't know if you are familiar with the blueprints, are generative artwork. And Async decided to make things very easy for us artists. And instead of coding and stuff like that, we only have to use their template. And this is what I did. It is again a project that takes me back to my roots, to the first artworks I did as a traditional hand-cut collage artist. And I'm trying to put all of my everything I learned, everything I loved in this digital journey, because I think it's not only the art but also the journey between all the social media, trying all these years to to make a career through internet. It is all this together. It's a beautiful piece. It will be 300 unique editions. I'm playing a lot with the patterns. I created like a game, like a Rubik's Cube, but the algorithm will be the player. So you will get, you know, a part of every color, or every color if the algorithm is a good player.
I'm just gonna post your collection here as async for the community to check out. And you did a chessboard, didn't you?
Yeah, I did the chessboard last year. It was at February.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the chessboard, and actually, like you said, async, they have some really cool mechanics, and I'm a huge
Very
fan
cool.
of that too.
Very good, very inspiring for an artist to create art there. And I was always working with layers in a way, because also the traditional collage is layers, one in front of the other or behind the other, and it was easy for me to understand the concept, and spend a lot of time creating projects for racing, a few projects, but all of them took more than a month or two to be created.
Yeah, I can imagine. Back when I watched your process video. Boy, you do have a lot of layers.
Yeah,
And yeah, I could totally imagine how you could easily understand how async works, because yeah, you are that, like, you're that layer artist. you're that
yeah,
collage layer artist. I love it.
that's true. That's true. And DC, I think that each of us have a talent, sort of, a way to express ourselves. But to be easy also for us. So for me, the layers was something that I knew. I knew that it will have a lot of work, but always I enjoy the process, because it's like starting with chaos, and then you one after another try to put order on these things, all these scattered layers, all these different names, all these parts here, there, and it's very satisfying, at the end to see everything coming together. So it's it's my thing. It's time consuming, that's for sure, and but it's I enjoy it. I enjoy this.
That's awesome. I
Yeah,
just wanted to. Oh, go ahead.
that one you are showing right now. It's the Descent to Hades, which is like a bit of a game where one player takes the character and the other player takes the monsters, the guardians, and there is a hidden combination of weapons, armors, and monsters that will defeat the guardian. And I have also 4 victory layers for each one.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, it was a good idea, but I think that I didn't manage to communicate it so well and give the people to understand what exactly is happening. But next time.
That's true.
Next time, yeah.
Well, that's one of the cool things about the space is you could do stuff like this, and you know, uh, eventually people will go to it and see it. There might be people watching it right now, and they're saying, okay, well, how does this thing work? And then they could jump on and check it out, and people get excited about it, and that's yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
Me too. Me too.
You always pick the best names too.
Really, yeah, I was, the worst with the titles and stuff. I remember I used to put other friends of mine to put the titles. I think the first exhibition I made back at 2014, I put a friend to to make all the titles.
You're a lot like I am. I have a hard time naming stuff.
Well, yeah, indeed. But later, I realized that also writing it's a sort of collage with words. So you can you can have your fun this way also.
That's so true. That's so true. I want to show everybody the cosmic whale. That was one of my favorite pieces, and I'm really happy to have it. I won't be getting rid of it anytime soon. Maybe
Yeah,
never.
yeah, it was very, one of my favorite pieces. I think I spent so much time trying to, make the mouth right because if you can see the original photo of the whale, it is not that way. I mean, it is not the mouth there. It's really, by side. You can see it on side, but I managed to cut it that way and put the other pattern to look like, teeth and the mouth and stuff. It came out that way. It was,
it came out really good, and there's
yeah,
a lot of detail too. You got the steam coming out right here.
yeah.
You have these. Everything stops up here to let the other ones pop up. I mean, you and that goes into your animation stuff. I mean, it's you got a really cool style when it comes to animating.
Thank you so much.
uh,
The style developed through process. Actually, I was thinking how can I could put. The ultimate idea was to have the traditional art merged with the digital art. So the way was that I could take my my collage artworks and start recutting them digitally, so I can give them motion and movement and one it was not a plan from the beginning. It was I will experiment with that and then look like that, and all of them at the end made me to have this style. I'm not always 100% happy with it, but I'm happy to hear that other people are happy.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't be happier. And you really do capture. I mean, you look at all of these pieces, you really do capture exactly what you said. You're looking for that marriage between the old style and how, in your mind, how it would actually kind of blend into a more I guess fresher style today. But you don't want to lose that sense of that feeling that you get from the art and the collage work.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, I love that. I love that. So George, you have a new piece for us that you just did, that we're very excited about. I'm going to let you share your screen because we're talking about your process and the style and stuff. And yeah, I want people. That's one of the things we want to bring back is going over some process type stuff and creation stuff. So yeah, share your screen and show us what you got to show us.
I will be more than happy. So you can see the artwork.
Yes.
Okay, this is the artwork. It's called Dark Skies. I usually make colorful artworks. I love colors, but lately I'm not in the mood to create colorful stuff. So I wanted to experiment a bit with black and white. So this is the artwork. I will show you now some stuff to see. Okay, this is the frame. I'm creating the frame for it. As you can see, it is movable. And let's take this off too. And this, let's be like that. And then I take every piece and cut it and put it in the right position, like the stained glass artworks.
Yeah.
You know, the stained glass artworks have a piece of glass, let's say here. I took a bit of a sky. I used only one photograph for this artwork, the photograph of a sky. And what I'm trying to create, to give the feeling of shadow and highlight. So I'm putting, a bright piece next to a more darker piece to create this 3D kind of effect with all the hair. And let me show you a bit of the face. And this is the face. Again, using all these pieces. Again, like trying to give the 3D effect. Here I use the clouds with the white, so I can make an edge-like effect, or the dark clouds to make the lips look this way, more dark, and to give a little bit of motion. I use the pieces of photos together. So as you can see, this is the piece that's going that way. Also, there is another piece going that way, so I can make the animation 3 or 4. And this is, sorry, not this one. This one that's going up and down. So it's a bit like a game. I'm trying where to cover, where to show stuff, so there can be no mistakes. But this was exactly the way I was working with the hand cut collage. Also, I was making the frame like that, And then I was cutting every piece with scissors, and then have to glue it, of course, in the right position. Now I have more flexibility because I can also, let's say, sorry, I can also warp it a bit
Yes.
and give it more, volume. Let's say I did it already on this. This is a very thing.
Oh man, I would have, and that's funny. I use Photoshop a lot,
Mhm.
and I would have never thought to do this before.
Look, Photoshop, it's as a tool, it's vast. I mean, you can do, everything, everything, and no one knows it, to 100% because we are all using some kind of tools. Other people use other tools. So um, what I did was to think about how I was working in the past and try to use those tools to make the effect, the right effect.
Yeah, it's genius because this cloud, it, man, you're right. It looks exactly like stained glass,
Yeah,
and you really got the effects. Yeah. Oh wow, that's crazy. And the way you lined everything up, and like you said, the warps of each individual piece, just playing with it, I'm sure, and just trying to get the aesthetic that you want is probably a lot of fun. But yeah, I would have never thought to do anything like this. That's so cool.
yeah. Everything, everyone has a a unique way of working. So I can also put shadows that I couldn't do when I was making the traditional art. So I can give more volume, like here. Can again. Sorry about that. In
No,
this,
those are good effects. We want that.
like here, where you need to have the hair a bit in front of the face in this position, or below the eye, just a little, shadow, and start building building this. You can. I could have took it to extremes, but it was, was satisfied with that.
And yeah, like you said, you're used to doing a lot of colorful stuff,
Mhm.
and it's really cool to see you do a darker piece. What, like, you're just in the mood, or tell us a little bit of why you chose to go this route this time.
I think it was more of a mood thing. I wanted to do something colorful, but with everything that's happening and stuff, I thought uh, I thought I would like to make to try a black and white composition. It's not ideal for my technique. I admit that everything looks better when it's colorful, but it is, also a way to express what you feel.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like it. Not your typical George, but
Um,
uh, part of George.
it is the black and white. It is a part of me also. I used to make collages that had black and white and colored photos together, mixed all that stuff. I was using the black and white for like the past. It's an obvious symbolism,
Hmm.
uh, but also maybe the dark, the sad. It is strong. Black and white. It's a strong combination. And so sometimes I feel it. I feel the black and white.
Yeah, I get that. I think we all get that, you know. We like to kind of see the black and white of things too. It has its own feel and structure to it that I think all of us have, those feelings that we
Mhm.
need to express sometimes.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And that reminds me of your shark noir that you
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I cannot say that word for the life of me.
Shark, shark noir. Yeah.
Noir. But yeah, I do love that. I do love that piece. I'll show that in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, so a lot of the community is saying, there's a lot of layers, there's a lot of dimension. The cloud powder pattern, excuse me, is dope. Um,
No,
you know,
thank you.
Noisy is mesmerized by your process and hasn't said anything since. Um, Justin says loves the noir piece, of course. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I'm just seeing if there's any questions that anyone has, but yeah, I mean, you have, like you said, you have a ton of layers. I like what you did with the clouds and um, it, I mean, I've seen the finished copy of this,
Hmm.
and when you were picking, I mean, the eye is really what you're drawn to too. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, it's a very strong focal point, and it gives a bit of reality in this surreal composition. I mean, I like that. The eye gives, the real, and everything else is unreal. So you cannot. Is this a mask? Is this a face? What exactly is this?
I love it. I have a plane. This is exciting, but I live near Air Force Base, so there's a beautiful plane
Hmm.
flying above me that everyone's going to hear in just a second.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's. Did you go through a process of selecting the eye, or did you just see the right one, or did you go through like two or three or four before you got the right one?
Well, I picked the eye from the start, but I, played around with when I made it black and white, how light or dark it will be. This was, in general, my process with the eye. I didn't had a lot of them to choose, but I had to make a lot of adjustments at the black and white. So I could have the result I wanted. I tried with a more dark iris at first, but it didn't look so good. So I decided that I wanted it more bright, like blue for a thing. Yeah, this is how I work, more or less.
Nice. And I saw on the finished piece that you added something to the eye. Um, so I'm kind of wondering like why, what your thought was or why. I guess when we look at the finished piece, we can we can ask it.
Do you want me to take the finished piece,
Yeah, yeah. Let's take a look at the whole thing.
the animated one? Let me close that. Let me find it. Oh, that's the final. So this is the finished one. I put a little bit of, all these little like particles at the background, and also this vignette like moving, giving more motion here, like everything going up, down, and having all this together.
Yeah, I love that. Uh,
Yeah, a little bit of extra shine.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. So
Yeah,
I immediately saw that, and that's really cool. And I like the pace that you chose for the eye blinking, and the particular frames that you chose to move to is also really cool. I mean, because you could go crazy with moving the frames, but
yeah, yeah.
I think that, I mean, you as the artist really wanted to highlight, and I think you're really good at that too. To be honest with you, you're really good at choosing the right frames to move at the right time. You know, your timings are really cool. So yeah, I mean, and you got the shoulder moving too, right?
Yeah, yeah, got the shoulder also a bit here.
Man, yeah, I love the background too. So I mean, this is kind of like it's very subtle, but also it's speaking. You know, with the eye blinking. I don't know what were you trying to say.
Well, I had in my mind, but I couldn't do it. But I will do it one day if I found a way. To have it like a Morse code, like having a message through a Morse code.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
but it was very difficult because to have the how do you call it pauses and beeps. They have a different, let's say, rhythm. So couldn't exactly manage to do it. But this is what I've wanted to do. What I had in my mind to have the eye like giving a message like an SOS or something.
George,
In a Morse code.
you gave me chills there.
Well,
Because it goes with the name of the piece. It's called
yeah,
Dark Skies,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, wow, yeah, this is like oh, here comes the plane again. But
Yeah, also okay. Let the
uh,
plane fly.
speaking of dark skies, but yeah, I mean, it's a message, right? It's
Mhm.
y- you're
Exactly.
you're saying a message to everybody through your art, and the art speaks for itself. Yeah, you're such a master, George. It's crazy.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It's sometimes the simplest form of communication. It's the most effective. Something like that. I think I cannot express it, exactly, but I wanted this to be the idea, the Morse code, even though I didn't. I mean, it doesn't say SOS, but it gives the impression of
Yeah, yeah,
this
absolutely, it
communication.
does. It definitely does, and yeah, I mean, even the background is just it goes with the piece so good. I'm a huge fan of this one.
Thank you, DC.
As so, we're putting this is our thing, right? You know, we're putting this piece up for sale for whale. It actually goes live today. So those of you interested, definitely go check out the whale store. I'll have a link for everybody. Um, and we're really excited about this particular piece. Um, I wanted to get some questions from the audience. We do have a
Yeah,
question from Heather,
of course.
who's also a big fan of yours.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's amazing.
She asks, like, what has been the most challenging yet rewarding project piece that you've worked on, and why?
Well, so far, I mean, the most challenging is the one that I'm presenting next week. But, I cannot say a lot about it. But I will say about the chess a few things because it was indeed the most challenging in many levels. Uh, the first problem was to try to create something, a chess piece that a chess set, not a piece, that every pieces can be moved around. So that was very difficult to find the right angle so that everyone can, see the game progress, not one piece hiding the other or stuff like that. It was very, very difficult. And then it was really funny because this is how it goes. I didn't have much knowledge about how the async worked back then. So I thought that I was only going to give a Photoshop file to them and they will make every move. Yeah. It was, it was not like that. So when I found out how it would work, I realized I had to make every piece in every square. So
Oh, wow.
that was really challenging. I mean, I was, for a day, I was thinking and think how I will work like that. I mean, how I could, finish such a project. And okay, after one point, I found out the way. It was still difficult, but I am proud of it. I am proud that I managed to, make every piece in every square with the right dimensions and stuff like that. It was very, very challenging. Not only the art, but also the organization. But again, I enjoyed it very much. I think it was something that I could do. It was not a burden. I mean, and I enjoyed it very much. But it was challenging. And okay, I've learned a lot of things from it, so it was also very rewarding.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Here's another one for you. Were all the panels animated in Photoshop for Dark Skies?
If were all the panels animated?
Yeah, were they? Did you use Photoshop to animate?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah, I
figured.
use
Yep.
Photoshop. Photoshop is good for frame animation.
It really
It,
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It feels like I feel like it's a little bit underrated because a lot of folks will jump over to After Effects or something. But Photoshop is cool for especially for what you're trying your aesthetic, George.
Yes, exactly. I have a better control of what I want to move, some little things that you cannot do with After Effects, or at least I don't know how to do it with After Effects. But it is for frame animation, it is the ultimate program for me, I think.
Oh man, I love it. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm a big fan of Photoshop and a lover of it. I dive into the other stuff, and I always find myself going back to Photoshop. I just like screwing around in there for hours, just messing with stuff.
Oh man, I have another black and white. Can I show it a bit? It's
Oh,
a piece that I will show you just a little of it.
okay. Yeah, I'll put you back on.
Huh?
There you go. Oh wow.
This is, it will be minted soon. It's super rare. This is inspired by Dore's engravings from Paradise Lost, and
Oh,
it is in layers, and it is augmented also. So I'm very, very excited with it. I don't want to show it, 100% yet.
wow, that's awesome, George. We're kind of getting a little bit of a sneak peek. That's really cool.
Because no one else saw it so far.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I love it. I think these are where your mouse is. That's a belly button, right?
Well, there are a lot of weird things going on here, to tell you the truth. Let's see another. I have another.
Oh,
It's
wow.
a bit difficult, but it will be, very surreal and cool.
Man, that is really cool. Yeah. Heather says the Garden of Earthly Delight vibes there.
Yeah. It is a similar. It's a
Man,
similar artwork.
Frank said that it's incredible. And
Soon it will be minted also. I can't wait to show it. It was a collaboration with a company that specializes in making artworks augmented augmented reality, and
okay,
they did an awesome work.
so that actually takes us. So you said AR.
Mhm.
Iliscavia had said, "Are there any techniques which you plan to experiment with in the future?" Is and we could assume that AR is one of them.
Yeah. I already downloaded the Photoshop Aero and play around a bit. It is a very easy program actually. You can take all the layers from Photoshop and put it there and start playing just like that, nothing else.
That's
It's really
awesome.
yeah. It's still in beta, I think, and I'm very impressed. Thanks to Fabin, who is a master of augmented reality, Fabin Rashid. He he told me to download it and check it. Great friend, great artist.
I think I follow Fabin.
Yeah,
Um,
of course you are.
I'm pretty sure I do.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think let me see if anyone has any more questions here. But yeah, I think we hit on all of our stuff. We did talk. I think the last thing I wanted to ask you was
Mhm.
what's next for George, um, and it sounds like Super Rare is
Yeah,
coming
first
up.
the blueprint. Next week, 9 of March, will be the pre-sale and 10 the public sale. And then later, the augmented reality at Super Rare. So there is a program.
I love it. Again, George, I love your work and I love seeing all the stuff
Thank you so
that you put
much.
out. Frank had asked. We'll leave with this question, then I'll play this cool video as an outro. But I don't want to take up too much of your day.
No
But
worries, no worries.
what's the best part of your day regarding how you set up and start on your art?
Well, the best part, it's thinking about the artwork. to tell to tell you the truth, it's the best because when I start creating, I'm always insecure, and it takes a bit of time to start seeing what I have in my mind, so I can then relax and enjoy the process. I have my own studio, so I'm happy with that. And start in the morning with my coffee, thinking, and then opening the Photoshop and start creating.
Oh man, that sounds amazing, George.
Well, to tell you the truth, it was my weekends back some years ago. This was my weekend. Now it's every day, so it's really awesome.
And that's awesome. I think I'm with you there. I sometimes when I get too stressed out, I open up Photoshop and just take something and start messing around with it,
Yeah,
and I could spend hours doing it, and it makes me feel good. So
yeah, it is relaxing. It is relaxing do some stuff there, and you never know where it will take you. I mean, I started a lot of artworks just to experiment a bit and play around, and turned out to be the best sometimes.
Oh man, that's awesome. And yeah, you definitely gave me some ideas because the way you laid this out for collage art, it makes so much sense. But a novice like me, I would never think about that. I would never think, oh, let's draw some lines and then piece some things together. And I think that's such a great idea.
Well, it was a derivative of the way I was working with the hand cut, so it kind of was a path that led me there. There is a path for all of us of how we are working. I'm impressed too with some things that other artists are showing, doing at Photoshop with brushes and filters and like Griff. I mean, I totally admire the way he's working with Photoshop, but I cannot.
Well, you continually come up with some amazing stuff, and you're doing all kinds of new things, and it's a pleasure to have you here, George. Always.
Me too. I'm always happy to talk with you, TC, and because I feel relaxed. I feel that I met the family. I mean, so many beautiful memories these past 2 years.
Oh man,
I saw
yeah.
everything almost from the beginning, and it was like a garden that keeps on growing and growing, and other flowers and other stuff. It is it is beautiful.
It is, and I'm so glad again to have you on because we have a lot of new members who may have not have met you yet. So yeah, I mean, this is great for sure.
It's awesome.
So folks, thanks everybody for tuning in. We're gonna have Dark Size up on the Whale Store. This is George's newest piece. He is we're a little late, and that's my fault, but we're a little late. He's our February artist for the month for Artix Whale. So please check out his piece, and yeah, if you want to take it home, it can be yours. And with that, I'm actually going to leave you with our amazing video that Cartoon Advisory has made for us, and we will see you next time.
Thank you so much, fam.
Oh, thanks again, George. I really appreciate it.